as I mentioned, we learn how to strive and we learn how to be creative when we face challenges. Like the last couple of years, we became very creative and we learned how to work from home and how to do things that we never thought about it when we were hit with the corona. And thank God I think we're done. But this year has been pretty interesting, and we had like 4 hikes for the interest rate so far, and expect it to be more. But we learned that if life gives you lemon, what do?
Lemonade.
Make lemonade. So we try to be just positive and get something out of whatever is happening. And I think it's not the end of the world. It's gonna come around and everything will be all right. So we are the one-stop shop, as I mentioned. And who we are. We love to help sellers and buyers, and to end investors and everybody else. And today I just wanna give just little hints or little tips to sellers and buyers in the process of real estate transaction, especially in this time of the year. So it's not too late to list your home on the market if you are a seller, just because that the value of your home has gone up tremendously the last 24 months. So you're still gonna sell it with a very good price. Maybe you're not gonna get the 200,000 over asking like what was happening before, but still your net proceeds will be pretty decent according to the increase that happened the last 24 months. Another thing, I like you to take your agent's advice when it comes to determining the price for the home for this time specifically. Because if you price the home a little bit higher than expected, chances are it will last on the market for some time and you will have to lower the price. Once you lower the price, it's not going to be very attractive and people will kind of keep lowering the price for you. So take the advice of your agent. We know what we're doing supposedly, and just take their advice and they will tell you what's the right price to put it on the market. Another thing for sellers, I cannot stress enough decluttering your home. We all have everything very precious to us. Every Christmas card we got since, like 10 years ago. All the pictures of the kids since they were a baby until they're graduate from college. But when the buyer come to look at your home, they have another way of looking at the home. So consider the buyer more than your emotions when it comes to selling the home. Now we're gonna move to if you are a buyer. So if you are a buyer and you're ready to jump into the market to buy your home, first comes first, you have to get your financial together. So you need to get your pre-approval ready to go. And that means you might have to sacrifice some things that you would love to buy today, such as putting 1 or 2 cars on lease or purchase but with payments, because what happens is like when you put too much stuff as a debt, then we will face a problem with your DTI, debt to income ratio. So you want to keep this as good as possible, at least until you finish the transaction, because chances are if the debt to income ratio is high, maybe you're not going to be even able to get a loan to begin with. So keep everything clean and keep it to later. If you are planning to get like another car for your daughter or your son, just tell them wait for another month until we close, and then maybe you can put it on your credit. Or it can be on their own credit. This way actually it will help them to build their own credit. At the same time, when the underwriter will look at your file, they will see that this loan or this payment is not on your credit. Another thing I have to stress on is your FICO score. This is very important. So sometimes we forget, sometimes a silly little thing that we forget about, like $20 at Macy's or $20 in a medical bill or something, and we forgot about it, but it can really hurt your credit. If your credit is not good, chances are sometimes you can't even get a loan if your credit is bad. So take good care of your credit. And if your kids are growing, teach them that their credit is one of the most important thing in their life, because it will either treat them as kings and queens or maybe something else. Interest rate. We all heard about the interest rate and what's happening. And I remember when Lana and Spurgeon were about to go into this journey, Spurgeon called me one night, and I was going to a show with my very beautiful show host Ines, and at Logos, and I was going to the interview, and Spurgeon called me and he's like, Amany, I need advice regarding buying a home, this and that. I said, Spurgeon, do it yesterday, because we just heard today that the Federal Reserve are planning to get hold of the inflation by the end of 2022. I doubt that we're going to get hold of the whole inflation, but they're doing very good so far. It's still a long way. But anyway, I told him do it quicker because interest rate will go high. Interest rate has gone up and it will go even higher. However, as I said, there is always something good comes out of that. So I'm sure you all heard, or maybe some of you heard about something called buy down the rate. So nowadays, even some sellers, they can encourage buyers by putting this in the listing, saying that we are willing to help the buyers with buying down the rate. This has actually been something very good recently. It wasn't happening when the market was very hot, but now because sellers also wants to sell their home, so they're trying to encourage buyers to submit offers. So they tell them, okay, we will help you with buying down the rate. So instead of, for example, get a rate for 7%, you can buy it down for maybe 6.5 or 6.2. It depends how much the seller is willing to help. Or sometimes even the buyer, they can buy down the rate because it will help them overall for the payment monthly. So this is something very good. It would have never happened if we continue on the route of the inflation and the crazy market. Now we have somewhat healthier market than it was before. We came to a point it was really insane, but right now we are in a better place for buyers and sellers. So as we saw before, and I believe big time that there is always, what is it? Light comes at the end of the tunnel. So keep being positive, and this time we'll go around. And we were in a point that the interest rate were really higher than now, but things come around. So enjoy the rest of the evening, and I am here for you. And if anybody wants to get more information, I have my two tech people here, Josh and Ben. You can go and give them your name, and we can definitely contact you and make it work